Users for the SE channel, welcome to my channel. Please tune in, and God bless the Republic. Well, actually, I wanted to do a video on the Green New Deal. I know it's been a couple of weeks, a lot longer than that, but I didn't want to do it because when I read the Green New Deal, when it came out, my head went into reverse here. Like when I watch CNN or CNBC, I cannot watch more than about 30 seconds or maybe about a minute. And if I do, it's excruciating, some of the stuff that people are saying. Um, but I remember I was laughing because when I read it, and first of all, I couldn't even find it because I'm looking and looking for it. This is what I get: page not found. If you arrive at the selecting clip, blah blah blah, specific. So I've been looking for it, but that's not the point. The point was I remember in the Green New Deal it says that most of the Democrats are behind her. The majority of the Democrats, I think was going to vote for this Green New Deal, and some of the Republicans. I mean, it's like a huge hype, And when this whole voting thing came out, and only about 59-0, like nobody voted, everybody abstained, or they were present. It was a huge joke with this whole New Deal, and I'm watching basically the Democratic Party, literally this, like, I call it the Democratic Socialist Psychotic lunatic party disintegrate in front of my eyes. Watch, because I'm seeing both the Democratic Party and the hard left, and that's going to split the vote. I don't know, 20-80 or 30-70 or 50. I'm not sure by 2020. And what's going to happen is that a lot of the sane liberals will probably go conservative or in the middle. The people in the middle are probably going to go more conservative. This is what I think personally. That's why Donald Trump and the Republicans will win the 2020, and the Democratic hard left will be hard left. It'll be basically the Democratic Socialist Communist Party. That's what it's going to be. Okay, that's for the future. But I just wanted to check, the numbers. So actually, I went to this other website. Let me see, and I actually found it. Page not found. Hold on. Okay, here it is. It's some arc. You got to remember, the web never forgets. If you really want to find something, the web never forgets. So here, the Green New Deal is a 10-year plan to create a greenhouse gas neutral society. Okay. The Green New Deal archives. I just want to say, she talks about World War II and all that. Since she's talking about World War II, the Nazis also used the environment and also to control its people. How they didn't want them to kill dogs, maybe humans. So they used, I think it was at that time the Jews weren't allowed to kill an animal or a cow, kosher wise, like they made new laws for that. And they used, actually, especially the SS, they used the environment to control its people. So that's another thing. But then again, we got to take care of our environment. I mean, you got to recycle. I do recycle. I take care as much as I can. I mean, I have a car. I don't, I don't have an electric car, but I mean, I like the combustion better. But and also, I just don't like too many gadgets in there, especially, if this is Wi-Fi, that's Wi-Fi. This, like, I don't want to be controlled, somebody controlling my car. So that's what's in my head and so on. But we got to take care of environment. Yeah, there's nobody that's denying that. We got to. We're living in the same environment as everybody. But one thing Miss Cortez has to understand is that the Chinese are also part of this world. The Russians are part of this world. The people from Venezuela are part of this world. Latin America, Canada, So the Green New Deal is not just America. It's if the world is going to end in 12 years from now, which I really feel sorry for a lot of young kids and a lot of people who are diehard, environmentalists, and they can't sleep at night, and so I just feel sorry for them, because I'll be around in 12 years, I'll be around in 20 years, and I'll be around 30 years. I know, because I'm a conservative. I see everything as abundance. And this is why also I left one time I was a liberal, or like more progressive, because they always saw the progressive always saw everything as cataclysmic, it's the end of the world, there's not enough water, there's not enough trees, there's not enough air, there's not enough this, there's not enough that, too many people in this world, consuming too much, we're destroying this, we're this, that. It's always about destruction, end of the world, and this and that, to save the planet. No, the planet will be around for many, 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 many moons to come. We just have to work at it together. We got to save it. I mean, obviously, you can't throw, all these toxic stuff in the ocean and so on. That has to be taken care of and all that. But then again, the world will be around. I heard this in the year 2000. I remember, that by 2014 or 15, New York will be underwater, Florida will be underwater, it'll be the end of the world. I even heard this even way before that, in the 80s, with the Green Movement. We heard about all this, but being a conservative, being somebody who believes in God will not destroy this world. And, that's why I love about the conservative movement and the Republicans. Everything is about abundance. Don't worry. We're going to make more food. Okay, there's more people. There'll be more people out there. You understand? I mean, more food. There's a blessing out there to have more kids and all that. So we got to take a positive view. Well, the Democrats, it's the opposite. It's more like it's the end of the world. It's too many people, not enough air, not enough this, not enough that, not enough trees, not enough this, not enough of nothing, Okay, so... Okay, you can just read this, and also the economic security to all who are unable or unwilling to work. Unbelievable. That's not even a Green New Deal. That's more like a welfare system for nobody that wants to work, stay home, and, we are, I'm Cortez, and I'm the king, I'm the Caesar now, and you stay home, we'll pay you, don't worry about it, as long as you vote for me. Now, the Green New Deal lays out a comprehensive plan to ensure training, investment. Okay, well that's normal. In short, the Green New Deal fully tackles the existential threat posed by climate change by presenting a comprehensive 10-year plan that is a big problem it hopes to solve while creating a new era. Also, you have to, look up solar minimum, solar maximum. We're going into solar minimum, which is the planet's getting colder. Not warmer, I think it's getting colder. So looking up solar minimum, where the sun spots are less and less. There's an 11-year or 12-year cycle, I'm not too sure, I don't remember. And I know being to Canada, in the Montreal area, and, Quebec, and, Ontario, and parts of Canada, it's very cold out here, man. It's very, very cold. It's still cold. It's the beginning of April, and there's lots of snow out there. Lots of snow, and it's freezing. So, I don't know. Anyways, bottom line, we all have to take care of the environment. I mean, just do all your, just recycle plastics, emissions. What is the purpose of the Green New Deal resolution? Okay. Why is it such a large-scale mobilization necessary right now? In recent videos, the close of the global temperature must be kept below 1.5 degrees Celsius above. Okay. This calls for global reduction of greenhouse gas emissions of 40 to 60% by 2030. The year's con. All I know is that they get rid of carbon dioxide, which is oxygen to the grass and to anything that's green. Nothing will grow. I just want to say that. I mean, it doesn't take a genius to understand that. The U.S. contributes 20% of global emissions. To hit the global target, the U.S. must not only get to a greenhouse gas emission neutral say by 2030, but also must lead to this change abroad to avert climate catastrophe. The United States is one of the best out there in the world. It's really, if they want to go after the socialists, the real socialists, it's China and India, and some of the other places. Okay. Okay, talks about. Okay, I don't want to go much into it. Here it is. Is there any support? Here it is. Okay. Is there any support for the Green New Deal? 92% of Democrats and 64% of Republicans support the Green New Deal. Where do they get this? Where do they get this? This is what I'm trying to say. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Where did they get this information? If this information is wrong, imagine what the other information she has wrong. 92% of Democrats and 64% of Republicans support the Green New Deal, according to the latest polls. Over 300 local and state politicians have called for federal Green New Deal. A previous resolution to create a select committee for the Green New Deal has 45 endorsers in the House, and this resolution is launching with a co-sponsor of 60 members of the House and 9 senators, including many major presidential candidates. It's a joke. Why do we need a sweeping Green New Deal investment program? Why can't we just rely on regulations, taxes, incentives? Gotta understand. I mean, if this is what they're running on, it's always like that with the Democratic Party, Democratic Socialist Psychotic Party. Is that they, you know, they run on the environment. Okay, vote for me, and I'll fix the environment. What fixing? You got to fix the world. It's you got to go to China and India. You know, they're the major polluters of the world. Without their deal, because I know the Paris Accord, exempted those two nations. Did you know that? They exempted those two nations with the Green New Deal. So how is the world going to? Well, of course, the world. I mean, you want the world to blow up and everything. I mean, let's go back to the Dark Ages. Have the Chinese, or the Russians attack the U.S. because we're in the Dark Ages now, and that's it. You don't have to do nothing. Anyways, I'm just getting ahead of myself. I just wanted to show you, I don't know where she got all this, 60 members of the House and 9 senators, including many major presidential candidate, which they're not even talking about it anymore. Why do we need a sweeping Green New Deal investment program led by the government? Why can't we just rely on regulation, tax incentives, such as a carbon tax or a ban on fossil fuels? Yeah, go tell that to the Europeans, and you'll see it. In France, there's riots like crazy right now with this carbon tax and this gas tax, and now here in Canada also has a carbon tax right now. They're going crazy. Gas spiked way up, I think another 4 or 5 cents already. So okay, the levels of investment required to make the Green New Deal success. Even if every billionaire and company came together and were willing to pour all their resources into investment, the aggregated value of the investment would not be sufficient. No kidding. How about $6 trillion a year and wiping any future our kids have? That's why we must utilize World War II era and New Deal financing, which commits long-term benefits. Impossible. It's just impossible. Okay, so you guys can read it. I mean, I read this already a while back, and I just wanted to... How you would pay. The Green New Deal is a mass investment program, not an expenditure. Investment? It doesn't sound like an investment program. More like it is an expenditure. The question isn't how we'll pay for it, but at what cost of inaction that we will do to share prosperity, create investment. I mean, she's only saying this now because of we have the greatest economy in the world. The United States is the strongest economy in the world, and she'll think that you pay for this. You want to destroy an economy? Throw in, throw in carbon taxes, throw in $1 trillion a year in taxes and companies that won't hire. They're going to lay people off. It's just a cascading effect. If you want to destroy an economy, just look at France. Just really look at France. Look at France and some of the European nations there. Bankrupt. Totally bankrupt. And just look at South Venezuela. Let me see. Okay. Anyways, you guys can read this. Yeah, I'm just... The Green New Deal sets a goal to get to net zero rather than zero emission I don't know what that means, at the end of the 10-year plan, because we aren't sure that we'll be able to fully get rid of, for example, emissions from cows and air travel before then. However, we do believe we can ramp up renewable manufacturing power production, retrofit every building in America. Cuckoo, honestly. Build a smart grid, overhaul transportation. The only way really to save, what are you going to start cutting trees and God knows what else? The whole world we won't have. We're going to destroy the earth that way. I think my solution, I always said it, it's nuclear power. That's it. End of story. If you're going to have 7, 8, or 9, or 10 billion, God willing, this world will be around 15, 20, 50, 100 years, even 200 years from now. We got to be, looking forward to this. Not it's going to be the end of the world. That's how we get radicals. What do you think it's going to happen 5 years from now? You get all these we got 5 years to live. I'm not going to work anymore. I'm going nuts. I can't sleep. They take pills and so on. And they're going to become more and more radical. What they don't understand, 12 years, we'll still be around. My opinion. We'll be around 20 years, 50 years. So, here, cow this, cow that. The Green New Deal is a 10-year plan to reorient our entire economy and pollution. This means creating a plan to develop to supply clean energy. So what are we going to do? We're going to go to war with China or some of the major countries that don't do this? What's going to happen? Let me see. What's next? Representative Country is planning to immediately begin work on a Green New Deal legislation to fully flesh out the projects involving the Green New Deal. I saw what happened. It went to zero. She also plans to work with members of Congress to incorporate existing legislation. Company has a plan of Green New Deal. Comprehensive. Yeah, okay. Okay. Okay, so now you guys read this? Okay. Basically, I just wanted to read how many people... Okay. I just wanted to read... Here it is. Again, deal had 45 endorsers in the House, which nobody voted. Okay? Nobody voted. And this new resolution is launching with a co-sponsor of 60 members of the House and 9 senators, including many major presidential candidates, which all stayed away and all didn't vote. Anyways, my name is Samuel Ezerzer for the SE channel. Oh, wait a sec. I think maybe I have one more. I hope I can use it. This is on MSNBC. Hold on a minute. And this, you guys have to watch this to really get it.
Rights in the history of women's rights. These are long struggles and intergenerational struggles, and that is something important for us as young activists to learn as well. We are not the first. We will not be the last. We stand on the shoulders of giants. But climate change is different because we have an expiration date. And the IPCC report says we've got 12 years to turn it around. 12 years. So my concern is that we are going to be the frog in the pot of boiling water. And we are going to debate and debate and debate and debate and debate. And then when we actually finally pass something, it is a wimpy carbon tax and our kids are doomed.
The threshold now is...
See? And the kids are doomed. It's the end of the world. It's the end of the world. It's the end of the world. You guys have to watch this. It's called the Green New Deal with Alexandra Cortez for MSNBC. And you see, this is all of it's planting the seed in all the kids now. I'm telling you, all the schools in the United States and Canada, specifically the Europeans, they're going to plant the kids that we gotta, we have 12 years now. Forget about the environment. Forget about let's clean and understand the actual, what's really happening out there. I mean, all you have to do is just look outside, and I'm looking outside. It's so cold. I mean, I'm up north here. There's still snow in the Montreal region. very, very, very cold. So I'm just here with my mother. Well, she's Canadian, and it's extremely cold here. And you just heard Ocasio-Cortez saying we have an expiration date, and our kids, this is it. This is just it. Always, the last thing I want you guys to remember is very simple, and understand this. When you're conservative, Republican, everything is of abundance. You want to have 2 kids, 3 kids, 4 kids. There's God. There's there's a sort of like there's don't worry. God will provide. We'll work together. And when you go to the left and the socialists who don't believe in God, a lot of them, they're agnostic or whatever, it's cataclysmic. It's the end of the world. It's the moon is going to crash with the earth. I don't know. There's not going to enough water for everybody. It's too hot. It's too cold. There's not enough trees. There's not enough air. There's everything is just negative, and I can't deal with that anymore. I just can't deal with that. My name is Samuel Ezerza for the SE channel. Thank you for tuning in. And if you agree or not, this is my opinion. You don't have to agree. But I did find the Green New Deal. I found it. I was like searching for it because I just wanted to see some of the misinformation that she had. As so many of her colleagues were really behind her, but not really. When I say behind, maybe it's Joe Biden, but that's a joke. Okay? It's only a joke, guys. It's a joke. Take care. God bless.